Sometimes, the quietest people make the loudest impact. In a world where everyone's trying to be seen, this intern didn't even know someone important was watching. What she did wasn't for recognition, but for kindness. And that's what changed everything. Stick with me, because by the end of this story, you'll believe in the power of doing the right thing, even when no one's supposed to be watching. The first day at a new job is always nerve-wracking, but for Emma Lynn, it was terrifying. She had practiced her introduction 100 times in the mirror, but when the moment came, standing in front of her new team at Branwell Technologies, her voice barely made it past her throat. "Hi. I'm Emma," she whispered, her eyes glued to the floor. There were polite nods, distracted smiles. No one noticed her hands fidgeting under the table, or the way she stood slightly apart from the group. No one, except Rachel, the HR manager, who gave her a warm smile. "Welcome aboard, Emma," she said kindly. "We're glad to have you." Emma was an intern in the customer experience department, and while others mingled over coffee and shared jokes in the break room, she kept to herself. She wasn't unfriendly, just quiet. Some might have called her invisible. But Emma didn't mind. She wasn't here to make waves. She was here to learn. What no one knew, not even Rachel, was that Emma had grown up with a deaf older brother, Liam. From a young age, she had learned American Sign Language, ASL, fluently, not because she had to, but because she wanted to connect with him in his world. Their bond was unbreakable, even if the world didn't always understand them. That morning, a visitor entered the Branwell lobby, a man in his late 50s, sharply dressed but holding a small whiteboard that read, "Hi, I'm deaf. Here for the client software demo." The receptionist, caught off guard, panicked. She smiled awkwardly, then started typing furiously into Google Translate. But the visitor stood patiently, unfazed. This wasn't his first time being treated like a puzzle people weren't equipped to solve. From a distance, Emma had been walking past with a stack of folders, on her way to the archives. She glanced up, saw the exchange, and paused. She hesitated, the hallway felt suddenly huge and full of eyes, but then she stepped forward. Carefully, she set down her folders and walked to the man. She signed. "Hello. My name is Emma. May I help you?" The man's face lit up with relief. He signed back, "Yes. I'm here for the 11 a.m. demo. I didn't know if anyone would understand." Their hands danced in conversation, and the receptionist stood frozen, amazed. Emma smiled softly. "Follow me," she said out loud, then signed again. "I'll take you to the conference room." She guided him down the hall, casually interpreting for him as they passed people who stared, whispered, and then moved on. It was just another small moment of kindness. Just another forgotten hallway at Branwell. Or so she thought. What Emma didn't see, and didn't know, was that someone had been watching the entire exchange. From the glass balcony above, leaning over with a fresh cup of black coffee, stood Marcus Hale, the notoriously elusive CEO of Branwell Technologies. Known for being direct, brilliant, and rarely present in the day-to-day workings of the lower floors, Marcus watched the young woman he didn't recognize communicate seamlessly with a deaf guest, all without hesitation, and without the need for approval. He didn't say a word. Just watched, and nodded slowly. For the next few days, nothing seemed different. Emma continued doing what she always did, organizing client files, double-checking feedback emails, running small errands for the senior team. No one mentioned the incident with the deaf visitor. In fact, Emma assumed it had been forgotten, if noticed at all. She didn't mind. But then, on Friday morning, a company-wide email went out with the subject line, "Intern recognition, going beyond expectations." Her stomach dropped. She clicked it open, heart racing. "This week, I had the privilege of witnessing something that reminded me of what real leadership looks like." It wasn't a flashy pitch or a record-breaking sale. It was an intern, someone who thought no one was watching, stepping forward to treat a deaf client with dignity, fluency, and warmth. Her name is Emma Lynn. In a world where inclusivity is often an afterthought, Emma made it her first instinct. She reminded us that true service is not about ticking boxes, but about connection. Because of her, we are launching a new initiative, Branwell Communicates, a program dedicated to training all frontline staff in basic ASL and inclusive customer service. Thank you, Emma. You've taught us all something important. Hail! The email exploded across the office. People whispered her name in the hallways now, but not because she was quiet. They were curious, impressed, even a little ashamed. Emma had done what no one else thought to do, and now, they couldn't stop talking about it. Rachel called her into her office later that day, smiling brightly. Emma, I think it's time we talk about extending your internship, and what comes next. There's a lot of interest in having you train the team. Emma blinked, stunned. Train the team? You've started something here, Rachel said. And Marcus himself has asked to meet you. Monday. One-on-one. Her hands trembled slightly in her lap. I didn't do anything special, Emma whispered. Rachel looked her in the eyes. That's the thing. You did exactly what was needed, without being told. That's rare, Emma. That's leadership. Sometimes, we think no one sees us. That we're too quiet, too shy, too ordinary to make waves. But impact doesn't require a spotlight. It only requires heart. Emma's story reminds us that the right thing done in silence still echoes. Emma didn't ask for attention. She didn't seek praise. She simply saw a need, and met it. That's what made her unforgettable. Let this be your reminder, your smallest act of kindness might be the thing that changes someone's entire day, or their entire life. Do good, even when no one's watching. Because someone always is.